This is Kenny's Guitar Tech Tips with me, Kenny Barnwell, professional touring guitar tech. I've teched for some big name artists and toured around the world, which means I've met a ton of people, been in a variety of situations, and made my fair share of mistakes. And I've learned a thing or two about how to adapt to the inconsistencies of the live show. I want to share with you another option, method, or trick that you can try out and see if it works for you. Today's tech tip I want to talk about is intonation. After all the adjustments that we did with my previous episodes in previous months, with the relief adjustment, truss rod adjustment, with the action height adjustment, everything affects intonation. Every step of the way, what I tell everybody is to tune back up. Make sure you're doing everything and all of these adjustments that we talked about with proper tension on the neck, which means you got to keep the guitar in tune. You've made your relief adjustment and you keep in tune. You've made your action height and your nut height adjustment. You keep it in tune. You make your pickup height adjustment. Tuning is less important, but I always just say be consistent and tune up. And last thing of the simple setup is to adjust your intonation. You have a string that vibrates at A440, okay? If your string is too short, it's going to vibrate faster and you're going to be too sharp. If your string is too long, you're going to have a longer vibration, which will cause it to not be in tune. How to get that is, everybody's probably seen them, but on the back of the electric here, you have your saddles. These are your different saddles on the bridge here. And you have your intonation adjustment, which are these screws here. So as you notice, they're all different lengths, because that's the different vibration of the gauges, the thicknesses, and everything, all the variables that matter, like height adjustments, your truss rod relief, all those things like that. So what we like to do is, you make sure when you lay it on your workbench, you have your neck rest here at the 7th, providing the proper support at the relief. And then you have to have a strobe tuner. Intonation is a very difficult thing to get right anyways. There's nothing except an electronic keyboard that's perfectly intonated, so you're gonna have to settle at some point, but the best way to get the most accurate adjustment is with a type of strobe tuner. I'm using the Peterson Stomp Classic here. Now that the guitar is in tune, you start by taking one of your fingers, then you play the harmonic at the 12th fret. Notice that my tuner's in tune. Check again. Now you want to depress the 12th fret of the string. You got to be very careful not to press real hard or you'll sharp the string out, giving you a false reading. Like I said, intonation is a very, very minute adjustment, but it matters completely tonally when you're trying to achieve and hit the right notes in tune. So you play the harmonic at the 12th, the tuner shows in tune. Then you depress gently the 12th fret. If you notice on my tuner, I'm showing a little sharp. So, in order to compensate for that, if it's showing sharp, that means my string is too short and I need to lengthen the string. So on this adjustment, you lengthen the string by turning the screw to the right, which in turn will suck the saddle back. You can do this in stages. It takes a little while to get the intonation right. So I like to do that, and then I'll push out the saddle just to make sure it's settled properly. Next, I go ahead and test again. Notice it's real sharp now because I made the adjustment. And then you'll retune it, the harmonic. And you depress. I'm in tune. My harmonic is in tune. And that's in tune. I know that this string is intonated all the way up. And then you just repeat the steps all the way up. Harmonic, and then depress lightly. Harmonic, depress lightly. And all the way up until you're comfortable with the intonation adjustments. And that's intonation. That's the final step of the simple setup. So again, to do a quick review, the simple setup is you start with your feeler gauge to adjust your relief. Next, you take your 6-inch ruler and you adjust your nut height, you adjust your bridge height, and you take your pickup height also with this tool. And then lastly, you adjust your intonation to finalize the whole process. And that's the simple setup. I'm Kenny, and that's the tech tip for the day.